Music Lessons by Justus Mwenda Kalung'e.
Hi everyone, I am your tutor Justus Mwenda Kalung'e, and I would like to take you through music lessons. This is lesson 2 of ABRSM syllabus, and I would like to continue from where we left. In the previous lesson, we talked about the staff, and we said that it is the arrangement of 5 parallel lines and 4 spaces, 4 equal spaces, whereby a clef is put at the beginning to denote the music notes. We talked about a clef, and we said that it is a symbol that is put at the beginning of the staff to denote or to assign lines and spaces their names or musical names. We also talked about the treble clef as the first example of a clef that we would learn at this level, and we said that it occurs the second line when we count from the bottom, such that it draws a sort of a circle on it, to mean that any note that is denoted on that line will be read as G, and from that you can get the other notes on the lines and the spaces. We also talked about a ledger line and saying that it's a small line that is drawn below or above the staff to denote notes that are outside the range of a certain clef. So without wasting much of the time, we shall go direct to our today's lesson. And I would therefore like to welcome you to the second lesson. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly do so that you can support us, so that we can grow together. Our lesson 2 today will be about the bass clef, and as we have said, we have already learned about the first clef, that is the treble clef, and as you all know, we have high pitches and low pitches. We have instruments that play high-pitched music or that produce a sound that is of a high pitch, and we also have instruments that play or that produce a pitch that is low. We also have voices that are high-pitched. We have female voices and male voices. We have therefore we use each clef that fits those instruments or voices. For example, for most low-pitched music, where most of it's lower than middle C, we use the bass clef so that we can avoid having many ledger lines. The bass clef looks like this. We have this symbol here that looks like that. Then we have 2 dots in front of it. These dots are put in between those 2 dots. We have a line that is placed to mean that any note that will be denoted on that line will be read as F. We have 2 types of voices. We have female voices and male voices. And in female voices, we have higher female voice that is called soprano. We have lower female voice that is called alto. For the bass, we have a higher male voice that is called tenor, and the lower male voice that is called bass. For Male voices, we use the bass clef to denote their music, and for the female voices, we use the treble clef. The two dots of the bass clef are placed on either side of the line where we can find the note F, also known as the F clef. So the F clef is another name for the bass clef. The bass clef is used by many low-pitched instruments such as tuba. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring the picture. We have the bassoon, double bass. It's also the default clef for the left hand in piano music and the bass voice. This is the first F below mi do si. So if we have this stuff and the F clef there, just above it, for example, if this is our F, we have G here, we have A here, B, and just above B, that's where we have our mi do si that is denoted on a larger line. So we can say therefore that this F is the first one just below mi do si, such that if we have a larger line here and we have our mi do si here, then we shall have C when you count the alphabet letters in the reverse way. We have C, B, A, G, F, or F, G, A, B, C. That's why you have mi do si on top of that F that is noted by the clef. We can therefore look at the note names just as we did with the treble clef. For the lines, if this is our F, that means our G will be here, and you can also create a formula as we did with the treble clef. That we can have good boy deserves favor always. That is for the lines on the F clef. And here are the notes in the spaces. You can have face just as we did yesterday. Face GB, face GB. For face F will be here, A here, C here, E here, just below F or the landmark. And we have G here, and we have B just below mi do si. The notes above B is mi do si. It is useful to be able to write mi do si in both clefs. We use a small line for it to sit on, just like we did in the treble clef. But in the bass clef, it is above the staff. For the bass clef, the mi do si is just above the staff. Remember that in the treble clef, mi do si is below the staff, just here. Having discussed about that, we shall go direct to accidentos. In music theory, the term accidentos is used to describe some notes which have been slightly altered. Before we go to them, I can just give an example. For example, if we have G, it sounds as G. But when we say G flat, it's totally different from G. When we talk about G sharp, it's also different. It's also different from the G that we mentioned the first time. So those sharps and flats that we are mentioning are what we call accidentals, and they are used to slightly alter a note. Accidentals are the symbols which are placed before the note on the staff. They can be sharps, flats, or naturals. In this unit, we will have a look at what accidentals are exactly and how they are used in music theory. To begin with, let's look at the octave on the keyboard again. This is a sample of a keyboard, or how a keyboard looks like. As you can see, we have two black notes or black keys together, 3, 2, 3, and that's how a keyboard or an organ is arranged. You can see we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And as you can see, there is a note that is named as C, and it is colored yellow. And here we have another one that is colored green. The yellow note is the middle C that we discussed on the staff, and the green note is the next C above it. How many different notes are there between these two C's? Between these two C's, we can count. We count both. The white and the black keys. That's we say. We start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we don't have to count C again. That's we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If we count all the black and white notes, we will find there are 12 different notes. Don't count C twice as we have done. This span of notes is called an octave. That is from this C to this C. It's an octave. Or if we exclude the black notes, you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you know, oct means 8. So octave means those 8 notes. But if you count the tones and the semitones, you will get a number of 12 different notes. This is not only true for the piano. Every instrument uses the same series of notes. Then we have our sharps and flats. So we have 12 different notes, but we only use 7 letters of the alphabet. We use the ones sharp to mean that it has been raised, and flat to mean that it has been lowered with a letter name to cover all those in between notes, those 12 notes. The sharps and flats are two kinds of accidentals. We can use symbols for accidentals instead of the ones sharp and flat. This is the sharp symbol. It looks like an ash. Then we have the flat symbol that looks like a B. Find the notes C and D on this keyboard. We have D here, we have C here, we have C here, we have D here, and we also have another D there. So just between C and D, just between C and D, this is where we have C sharp or D flat. It has two names. You can refer to it as C sharp or D flat because C sharp and D flat are called enharmonic equivalents. They are called enharmonic equivalents because they produce the same sound. That's C sharp or D flat. If you raise C, you get C sharp. If you lower D, you get D flat. They are both white notes, but we have colored the C in yellow to help you find it. Between them, you will see a black note. In between them, you will find a black note. We can see that this note is a bit higher than C, so it is C sharp. Or we can say it is a bit lower than D, so it's D flat. Here's another example. We have this note. It is in between F and G. So if we raise G a little or slightly higher, you get, if you raise F slightly higher, you get F sharp. Or if you lower G slightly, you get G flat. So in between F and G, we have A sharp or G flat. The F sharp or G flats, or the F sharp and the G flat, are called an harmonic equivalents because they are at the same pitch. The black note in between F and G can be called F sharp or G flat. Having discussed that, we can now go to naturals. The third type of accidental we are going to look at is called the natural. We use the word natural or this symbol to say that a note is neither sharp nor flat. This is very useful because sometimes when a note has already been altered by an accidental, that is a flat or a sharp, we need to put a natural sign to tell the player or the performer that it isn't flat or sharp anymore. Flats, sharps, and naturals make up the main accidentals that we are going to cover in this level, and they are the only accidentals that you need to know in grade 1 music theory. Having discussed that, we shall therefore go to balance and accidentals, because if you have an accidental and that accidental can affect all the notes on that bar, but when we have a bar line, it can cancel it or do something else. Let's see what happens when an accidental has been written. All the other notes which are the same pitch or position on the staff are also affected by the accidental, but only until a bar line is drawn. Let's look at this example. Here we have A or A natural, we have A flat, and we have A flat. But if we put a natural bar line there, if we put a bar line here, it means that this, the subsequent note are the same space as this. It means that this flat has been cancelled here, so the subsequent note will be rendered as A natural. But if we hand another note here, even without having this as here, we have a good example, by the way. Here we have A natural, it doesn't have an accidental. Here we have A with a flat, that means that it is A flat. If we draw another note here, it is affected by this flat. It means that this also must be A flat until we put a bar line. If we draw another note here, it will be A natural because of this line. But if we put a flat here, this will be read as A flat. If we draw another note without an accidental, it will also be A flat until we put an bar line. And this here we have A natural. This has been rendered as A natural because of this bar line. Otherwise, if we remove this bar line, we shall read this as A flat. One is natural because we haven't put any accidental. 2 is flattened by the flat symbol. 3 is also flattened by the symbol from number 2 because it's in the same bar. 4 is natural because the bar line cancels the effect of the flat. 5 is flattened by the accidental symbol, and 6 is naturalized by the bar line. This brings us to the end of lesson 2. I have been your tutor, Justus Mwenda Kalung'e. Here is my WhatsApp number in case you want to ask a question or for clarification. In the comment section, you can mention your name and where you come from, or you can also ask a question there for clarification. And don't forget to mention your address so that I can get back to you. You can also mention your name there so that I can send you greetings in the next lesson. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And you can also share the link with your friends who would like to learn music with us. Thank you very much.